Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful day, though very cold here in Thief River Falls, Minnesota. Hopefully, you're enjoying yourself. And if you're a snowbird, like my parents currently are, hopefully, you're enjoying the warm weather wherever you're at. With that being said, welcome back to another. I used to call these retirement planning coffee talks, but I kind of realized that's a really vague name, and it's on Facebook Live, so it's probably not that convenient necessarily, or maybe not you're not drinking coffee. Point being, I'd love to provide you retirement planning value, even if you're not drinking coffee. So I tried a new name. Hopefully, it's more clear, more descriptive, and engages more listeners and more activity. My goal is to provide as much value to as many good people as possible. So please do provide feedback. If you hate the name, more than willing to hear you out. But if you do hate it, please provide an alternative or a better name. Don't just bash the name. But if you like it, that's fair too. Just let me know. As a reminder, weekly retire confidently Facebook Live Q&A sessions. That's a bit of a mouthful. I may need to adjust that. Is a casual way for me to connect and answer your questions at no cost, even if you're not my client. Tune in on Facebook Live to ask questions, comment, or just listen to our weekly conversations about retirement planning. My goal is to provide value to as many good people as possible. If you prefer not to ask questions online during the live session, feel free to message me directly. Either way, I'd love to answer your questions and discuss what's on your mind. There's no pressure to work with me or become a client, whether you join online or message me. My mission is to provide my clients with the highest quality advice and service possible. To maintain this level of care, I limit my practice to 100 active clients at a time, as I have fiduciary responsibility to each of them. While I cap the number of clients I work with, I'm dedicated to serving as many people as possible by sharing valuable information and answering your questions. That's why these Facebook Live sessions mean so much to me. I'm looking forward to some great conversations and hope you have a wonderful day either way. Please feel free to comment with questions anytime now or during the live video. I'd much rather answer your questions and read through articles that may or may not be relevant to you. Disclaimer: this content is not legal, tax, or investment advice. Always consult a qualified professional regarding your own situation. And since this is a live session, I may occasionally make a mistake, but I'll do my best not to. With that being said, I will take a moment to give you a chance to ask questions. Leave them in the comments section, please. And if I don't get any right away, I will I'll read through an article that will hopefully provide you value. All right, not seeing any questions yet. I'm going to read an article that will hopefully prompt some thoughts. And this article is from Morningstar.com, and it is titled, "Maybe You Should Not Delay Taking Your Social Security Benefits After All." And it is written by it's an interview between Jason Kephart and Suzanne. I don't know how to say her last name. I'll include the article. You can check it out if you'd like. Again, the title is "Maybe You Should Not Delay Taking Your Social Security Benefits After All." New Morningstar research suggests that in some cases, the advantage of delayed filing may be overstated. And the key, I'm not going to go through the interview because they're talking back and forth, but I'm going to cover the key takeaways from this in hopes that it provides you value. The first key takeaway is adding annuities and Social Security to your portfolio withdrawals will lead to higher spending while increasing the efficiency of guardrail strategies. A couple things to break down there is I completely agree. Every situation is different, but oftentimes it makes sense to figure out what is your absolute needed income in retirement, like your baseline, making sure you can stay living where you're living, buy your groceries, and so on and so forth. You don't have to sell anything just to live. What's that number? And then what is your ideal income in retirement? And knowing those two numbers, we can build up your guaranteed income from annuities and Social Security and things like that to the baseline, and then maintain your investment portfolio or try to strategize your investment, the rest of your portfolio, to try to hit that ideal number. So that way, even if we don't quite make the ideal number due to market fluctuations or lack of assets or whatever that may be, we know that the bare minimum is taken care of, and even on maybe a down market year, you can still at least keep what you already have. So that's one part of what they're talking about here and what we often employ when it comes to retirement planning and why it's so important to understand how everything works together between annuities, your Social Security, your investment portfolio, life insurance, and all this different stuff, legacy planning and things like that. The other part of what they're talking about is guardrail strategies. So there's a lot of different retirement income strategies out there. There's the 4% rule where you just take 4% of your investment assets every year, regardless of what the market's doing. There's the 4%. That's the kind of the variable 4% where it changes depending on your asset level. There's the 4% rule or some percent rule where it's a fixed number. So day one of retirement, whatever that number is, you never change it other than adjusting for inflation, whether the market's up or down. And there's many other types, but the guardrail strategy is we take your assets and we generate a number or a percent of your income off of those assets with the intention of maximizing your lifestyle in retirement by spending more when the market's up, but also with the understanding that we may need to cut back a little bit if the market corrects for a long period of time, just to make sure we give your investments time to recover. But also within that, we also try to make sure we have a balance of assets that aren't dependent on market fluctuations, so that you can weather the storm that is the market. Because we want to plan for when it's going to correct, not if it's going to correct. The market always varies. So that again, the guardrail strategy is a little bit more variable than like a 4% rule, and with the understanding that we may need to cut back at times in order to maximize your lifestyle and retirement, while also making sure that, or at least giving, we can never guarantee anything, but giving you the best chance we can at not outliving your money, right? The number one risk for most people in retirement is living longer than their money, running out of money while they're alive. So we absolutely want to avoid that, while also avoiding not spending enough of our money and enjoying ourselves in retirement. We want to try to find that healthy balance. The next key takeaway is delaying Social Security gives you a bonus on the amount of Social Security Administration owes to you. So each year you delay taking it, the amount they're going to pay you when you do take it goes up until you're age 70. So planning around that's valuable, and how you plan around that. Two big important components are you still working? If so, how much are you making? What's your spouse's Social Security look like? Sometimes we can take one, it makes sense to take one but not the other one right away, depending on how we want to situate that, and the rules around the higher benefit staying is the permanent benefit, and the lower benefit being the temporary benefit for when one of the spouses passes away, and things like that. The next key takeaway is if you want to retire before age 70 and don't have an alternative income source, you might not want to delay your Social Security. Again, that goes into strategizing around what you currently have and what you need and things like that. The next key takeaway is a bridge strategy builds an income cushion so you can postpone taking your full Social Security. And what they're getting at there is, let's say you retire at 65, but you don't want to take your Social Security until age 67 to get the full benefit. You may need to use a bridge strategy or more of your other parts of your portfolio in the first 2 years, with the understanding you're going to use less of them once you kick your Social Security on. But it's important to plan strategically around that. And then the last key takeaway, if you're interested in this article, is if you're able to, it's better to postpone retirement as a bridge strategy to delay Social Security. So that's their opinion. Again, I'm not giving you advice. It's important to build out a specific strategy for your plan and your situation, but that's kind of the main premise they're getting at is at times it can be better to push out the Social Security and use your investments early and depend less on the investments later, more on the Social Security and things like that. So any questions or thoughts on those key takeaways? While I'm waiting to see if there are any, I will post this article in the comment section for your reference, and I will also include it. I will download this video and post it so you can watch it at a later date as well, in case you're not able to catch this live session this week. I do hope you are able to catch it next week, though, if you find these conversations valuable. I used to do these for like 30 to 45 minutes. I'm trying to cut that down to like 10 minutes because who has time for a 30-minute video these days or podcast? But since we're not quite at that 10-minute mark and I want to try to provide as much value as I can, I am going to cover this other article that I found that I think is valuable. It's pretty quick and short. It's from the StarTribune.com, and it's titled "A Financial Plan to Guide Late Life Decisions Will Help Weather Unpredictable Future." And that is written by Chris Farrell. And he says, retirement or semi-retirement is a complicated transition involving many financial and lifestyle decisions, and it pays to create a comprehensive plan. A saying attributed to Yogi Berra, Samuel Goldwyn, Neil Bohr, and others is, never make predictions, especially about the future. Whoever said it, I can't even say that word, I can't say the word. I'm moving on. Is an apt caution about the perils of prognostication in an uncertain world. Words are hard. But here is one prediction I am confident will prove true, says the writer, not me. The institutional chaos President Donald Trump has unleashed will happen continually through the course of his administration. Little wonder I've engaged in more than a few conversations recently about the financial implications of the chaos for those nearing retirement or semi-retirement. My answer does not change with administrations. His answer: retirement or semi retirement is a complicated transition involving many financial and lifestyle decisions, and therefore it pays to create a comprehensive financial plan to guide your late life decisions. You and your household will modify, tweak, and pivot from the financial plan depending on how circumstances and desires change. The value of a plan is it gives you a foundation for making calm and rational choices despite the chaos. Making a plan for retirement is not about precision and certainty. Far too many variables and unpredictable developments can crop up along the way, wrote Mark Miller in Retirement Reboot: Common Sense Financial Strategies for Getting Back on Track. But taking the time to estimate your likely expenses and income in retirement will get you beyond guesswork, and even more important, a plan gives you context for decision making. Patrick Zumbush, founder and chief executive officer of Wellspring Financial Partners in Tucson, Arizona, recently wrote that he used to think investment performance topped the list in doing his clients well. He later realized helping them navigate their emotions and maintain their financial discipline was critical. Both are still important, he said, but the big lesson is that a plan is paramount. And I 100% agree with him. I would say about 10 to 20% of the work we do is like the actual building of the investment portfolio. A majority is building the correct plan for our clients and the correct strategy, and then weathering the emotional storms that come with living life to maintain and update those plans accordingly, rather than reacting to short-term events that the news tries to terrify us with. Going back to the article, he wrote, "It is only through the hard experience of working with thousands of people that I have come to realize getting a comprehensive financial plan is the greatest act of achieving wisdom that a household can do." I think that's really valuable, so I'm going to repeat that. It is only through the hard experience of working with thousands of people that I have come to realize getting a comprehensive financial plan is the greatest act of achieving wisdom that a household can do. A comprehensive financial plan takes plenty of time and effort to create. Whether you work with a professional advisor and only work with an advisor who's a fiduciary, he says, I am it right now. He says only work with a fiduciary. I'm not saying you should only work with a fiduciary, but if that is of an interest to you, I am a fiduciary. Or if you use financial planning software, either way, the practice base of information and knowledge is invaluable for coping with economic uncertainties and chaos during retirement. All right. So those are two articles I think are both valuable. The first one was maybe you should not delay taking your Social Security benefits after all, from Morningstar.com. And the second one is a financial plan to guide life decisions will help you weather an unpredictable future, from the Star Tribune. I will put that in the comments as well and give you a few more moments to ask questions if you have them. And if not, if you have questions, I'm happy to stay on longer. If I don't see any come in soon, I will just wrap it up and let you all enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, so that is posted. And I'm not seeing any questions. So, like I said, thank you for those who take the time to join me live and even or listen to or watch or listen to the podcast or watch the video at a later time. If you think this conversation was valuable, please share it with a friend or share it on your social media or both, so I can provide more value to more good people. And comment on this post or message me directly if you have questions about retirement planning or requests for future topics of either the live sessions or my Money Not Math videos. Either way, I'd love to hear from you, and I appreciate you, so I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.